Welcome to the Explainer. I'm putting on my data analyst hat today because we're going way beyond the usual football headlines. What if I told you an 18-year-old kid has already played over 130 senior matches? And what if I said an AI model could mathematically predict the World Cup's breakout star before a single ball is even kicked? Well, today, we're not just guessing. We're using advanced predictive analytics to forecast the 2026 World Cup's best young player. Let's get right into it. So let's talk about that first mind-boggling data point. Did you know one 18-year-old superstar heading into this tournament has already played over 130 senior matches? I mean, just think about the sheer staggering physical workload being placed on a teenager whose body is literally still developing. We're going to reveal exactly who that is in just a second, and trust me, it completely shifts the dynamic of this entire tournament. That brings us to our second big question. How on earth can an AI model predict a World Cup's best young player before the first whistle even blows? Well, it's all in the data. By layering player form, team depth projections, and injury risk probabilities, we can actually mathematically forecast who has the absolute best chance of taking home the trophy. Let's look at the top 3 global talents our model flagged. Candidate 1, Spain's Lamine Yamal. Look, for pretty much everyone, Yamal is the generational genius of our time. He's the absolute market favorite, and honestly, his resume is just unprecedented. He's the youngest scorer in Euro history, he won the Copa Trophy for the world's best young player in both 2024 and 2025, and he was the Ballon d'Or runner-up. Everyone universally considers him the best young player on the planet right now. On pure, raw talent, he should be a mathematical lock. But we need to add some context here that really complicates the picture. Remember that shocking number I mentioned earlier? 130. That is the unbelievable number of senior appearances Yamal has accumulated across his club and international career, all by the age of 18. The true scale of this workload hits you when you compare Yamal to Spanish legends at that exact same age. Gavi, he'd played about 60 senior matches by 18. The legendary Andres Iniesta, just 40. Yamal is carrying more than double the load of his peers at a totally critical stage of his physical development. It's wild. And this brings us to a really harsh, data-backed reality. According to FifthPro, exposing players to this kind of excessive load at this age almost certainly exposes them to greater injury risk. Unfortunately, our predictive models flag this exact scenario. Yamal recently suffered a severe hamstring tear, and that severely threatens his availability for the group stages of this massive 48-team World Cup. In modern football, muscle fatigue compounds exponentially, so his actual physical capacity to survive a full high-impact tournament is in serious doubt, and our AI model penalizes that heavily. Candidate 2, Brazil's Endrick. Pivoting to our next massive contender, Endrick is an absolute sensation for Real Madrid. He perfectly provides the raw energy and instinctive striking power that Brazil desperately needs right now. With Carlo Ancelotti extending his tenure with Brazil, Endrick has become a vital piece of the tactical puzzle. He's totally fearless. The guy thrives in absolute chaos. He doesn't care how big the occasion is. He steps onto the pitch looking to score, period. Now, before we reveal our data model's absolute favorite, we have to objectively acknowledge a couple of elite dark horses. On the left, we've got Turkey's Arda Güler. He's world-class technique, insane vision, and a long-range shooting capability that's vital for his national team. On the right, Portugal's João Neves. He's the relentless engine of the Portuguese midfield, boasting incredible tactical intelligence. Both of these guys possess the pure talent to completely set the tournament alight. Real quick, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the data behind the beautiful game, please make sure to hit subscribe, turn on those notifications, and leave a like on this explainer. We're all about bringing you the smartest, most analytical football content out there. And hey, drop a comment below letting us know what football topics or players we should run the numbers on next. Moving on to the crucial data twist. We've looked at the raw talent, but here's the thing. To find the true winner, raw talent just isn't enough. We have to dive into the metrics powering our AI model. It uses 3 essential criteria to determine who will actually survive this grueling, expanded 40-18 format. First up is player form. Basically, how much momentum are they carrying from their club season? Second is physical readiness. What's their stamina and current injury risk profile given their past workloads? And third, which is incredibly crucial, is team tournament depth. You're not winning best young player if your team gets knocked out in the group stage, right? You absolutely need a high probability of a deep finals run to rack up the necessary minutes on the global stage. So when we apply these criteria objectively across all the candidates, the field narrows down remarkably fast.
Yamal takes a massive penalty in the model due to that hamstring injury and his high physical risk profile. Phenomenal talents like Arda Güler and Kenan Yildiz, they're mathematically hindered by Turkey's overall team depth projection when compared to the heavy tournament favorites. And even Endrick faces a serious potential minutes limitation just trying to start every game in a ridiculously stacked Brazilian squad.
Which brings us to the ultimate AI prediction. This leaves a massive opening. Based on the data, the algorithms, and the tournament projections, we have a highly rational and maybe slightly surprising winner. According to the 2026 Analytical Forecast Report, quote, Desiree Douay is the most rational and strongest candidate for the award. That's right. France's spectacular talent is the analytical model's absolute top prediction to take home the Best Young Player trophy. For those of you who haven't been watching Paris Saint-Germain every single week, let's break down exactly who this is. Desiree Douay is a 20-year-old French attacking midfielder and winger. He's had a meteoric rise at PSG, which just culminated in him winning the prestigious 2025 Golden Boy Award, plus the Best Young Player at the FIFA Club World Cup. The kid is an absolute force of nature. And this perfectly illustrates why our model favors him so heavily. Douay absolutely checks all three boxes in our step-by-step logic. Step 1, he enters the tournament at peak physical readiness, completely avoiding the extreme overload we saw with Yamal. Step 2, he boasts elite club form, riding the massive momentum of his Golden Boy win. And Step 3, he plays for France, a squad with unbelievable depth that is heavily favored to make a deep run in the tournament.
You can see it right here. The predicted match volume basically tells the whole story. France's squad depth almost guarantees Douay the maximum 7 matches to impress the voting committee. Now, Endrick might also see 7 matches, but he's constantly fighting for minutes in a really crowded Brazilian system. Meanwhile, Yamal's injury limitations mathematically project him for only about 4 matches, which drastically hurts his chances of putting up the necessary stats.
So the analytics strongly point to Desiree Douay lifting the Best Young Player award in North America. But hey, we all know football isn't played on a spreadsheet. It's played on grass. So do you agree with the AI data model, or do you think pure raw talent from someone like Lamine Yamal or Arda Güler will completely defy the analytics? Tell us your predictions down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching this explainer, and we'll catch you in the next one.